used to believe that they formed what was called generally like loose social aggregations, generally a mom and a young one, and then the males sort of would come around, and then the females would maybe form stronger bonds because the young ones would form bonds, and then they would have them in a little creche. But there was actually a very recent study, very interesting, that came out from a 9-year study in the Tarangire National Park in the Serengeti in Tanzania, I mean. And they've discovered that giraffes actually do have almost a matriarchal form of society. So the females in particular, they form long-lasting relationship with their offspring and with pretty much other females that live in the same area. So they kind of know who's who and they associate, and they also pass down certain knowledge through generations, which is pretty cool because up to recently it wasn't believed that that's what giraffe did. The males, though, pretty much hang out on their own. They can form sometimes bachelor herds, and then you'll see a bunch of males together. Or of course, if there's a female that's coming into heat or ready to mate, then you'll see a bunch of males trailing that female, and that's when you start seeing them sort of fighting for dominance or trying to establish a hierarchy, because obviously the bigger, stronger males are the ones that get to mate with the female. So this is a pretty decent sized male. They are pretty tall, and then so if you were to bump into another male, they might just associate for a little while, just feed around the same area. But if there is a vetted interest such as mating, then you'll see that they're not that friendly towards one another then. And when they fight, they don't use their legs for fighting, they use their necks, and they do what's called necking. They basically beat each other up using the top or their horns, which are called ossicones, because they're actually made sort of out of fused bone or cartilage that fuses and ossifies. And then they fight one another, hitting themselves with that big head on their necks or pretty much everywhere else. And I think recently, actually, I saw a very crazy video, because it's not that common that giraffe will fight, like, you know, a really, really bad fight that you're like, oh, one of them is going to die or something like that. It's not always fatal. But Karija shared a video recently, or in the last sort of couple of months, of two males necking, and they were having a big standoff. And I don't remember how exactly it happened, but one of them sort of got the other one from underneath the leg and then made it trip, and then the one male sort of fell off, and then it just kind of couldn't get up again. So that was a pretty hectic video to watch. I think both males were eventually fine, but it's quite special to see something like that. It's so funny how they've got a bend. Great stuff for the Lion King, though.